Welcome back to the Midnight Scooby Show! And tonight we'll be taking a look at the physical redeemables from the Funko Scooby Doo NFT drop from last year. Now there was 6 figures in total, and I got 5 of them. I never got the Grail because that thing is hard to pull and very expensive. So the very first figure, of course, in the set was an Ultra figure, which is a brand new rarity at that point, and it was Scooby Doo in disguise. I really do like the sticker, by the way, in the style of the Mystery Machines. The Ultra was limited to up to 5,000 pieces. I could not find how many were actually redeemed. I'm glad that they're changing that element of the stickers this year. I think that's going to be a great addition. And the next up is Pro the Dog as Scooby Doo, which was the royalty, which had up to 2,300 pieces. And the first legendary is the Puppet Master. All legendaries had a possibility of 1,900 pieces. And we got the Phantom Virus, which is a glow-in-the-dark, which was also the royalty. I forgot to mention that. And lastly is the Headless Spectre. So let's go take a closer look at these figures. Here is the Ultra figure of the set. This is just a hilarious pop. Out of all of the Scooby-Doo disguises, this one is a very memorable one. It's just hilarious. I like the trench coat that Scooby-Doo wore with the mustache and the bowler hat. And here is the very first legendary of the set. This is the Headless Spectre. And it's very interesting to have a Funko Pop without a head. On a shelf, I don't think people would actually think that this is a Funko figure. It definitely will be very unique in your Scooby-Doo Pop collection if you did get this figure. So you can kind of tell what the head looks like. The candle, I will say in the box, and I have seen this, this is a very breakable piece, so it's very interesting that Funko didn't put like a little plastic kind of protector around it in the box. But I will say there's a lot of detail on this candle. It is actually a little bit of like a translucent little piece up there. Imagine if they made that glow in the dark. That would have been so cool. And next up is the Phantom Virus. This is such an amazing figure. It was the one I was most excited for, and it is the one that Funko sort of failed in the final design. You can kind of tell on camera, it is a bit of a darker blue than you would expect from the Phantom Virus. But I will say, the glow on it is really good. And it definitely is that classic looking, Phantom Virus. But I think it should have been more of the blue of that kind of icy ghastly I have in the background. But I think the also problem with this is it's very messy. They used a glow-in-the-dark plastic for the head. And the body is just glow-in-the-dark paint, and it's just really all over the place, and it really just makes this feel very dirty and kind of dusty feeling. It's a really amazing figure. There's so many positives I have with this, but the final form of it left me a bit disappointed. But the glow is really cool, and it's still something I never expected to have as a Funko figure. I just wish it was not an NFT so many more people could enjoy this figure, because it is amazing, even with the few problems I have. And the last legendary in the set is the Puppet Master, and I gotta say, this is my favorite from the set. It is such a phenomenal figure. I like that they gave it a base that is like the stage. I like that the Puppet Master is maneuvering a puppet, and there's some really great detail on this puppet. They did a great job with it. I like the little strings. Mine is, as you can kind of tell, a little come out of the figure. It's a little bit broken, but I think it's just going to go right back in like that. And it doesn't look that bad. Honestly, I didn't even know it was broken until I was filming this video, if I'm going to be honest. But I was kind of expecting something would go wrong with these because it's a very delicate type of piece. And I like the kind of hand sculpt. It's actually really well painted. I will give Funko that credit because it's not very messy, which could have happened very easily with this. I like the yellow eyes. They got a little bit of the line work. They even gave it a little bit of a different nose, which is awesome. It stands out a bit. They got the kind of collar folded over. Yeah, Funko, great design. And lastly is the royalty of the set, and that is Proto the Dog as Scooby Doo. This is a really cool figure. I like that Proto is holding the Scooby Snacks with the Scooby Snack on their tongue, and there's some in their hands. And this is the very first Proto the Dog as a licensed character. That is so cool. A little bit of the collar right there. And this is a glow-in-the-dark figure. I don't really think it needed to be honest, but it's kind of a cool little addition. But I think my favorite part, and I mentioned this in an earlier video, is these two now go together, and that is such a cool pair. We got Freddy Funko as Shaggy, and Proto the dog as Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that is just a great little set. Pro the dog reminds me a lot of the Hot Topic Scooby-Doo that came out with, of course, Scooby-Doo eating some Scooby snacks. It's very much inspired by that. Those are some amazing figures. I am so glad that I have them. They weren't easy to get, of course, because they were NFTs, and you only had a chance to pull them in those Series 2 packs. I really hope that this year that Funko does some Scooby-Doo figures outside of the digital space, and not just more Scooby-Doo variants. I think that is much needed. It is kind of disappointing that for a lot of people, they can't have these figures in their collection. And like last year, Looney Tunes had some amazing con exclusives that released brand new characters. And I really hope that Funko does the same for Scooby-Doo, because that would be a very good way to balance things. Because right now it feels like Scooby-Doo is simply becoming an NFT-only release for Funko, and I hope that's not true. What did you all think of these figures if you did get them, or did you just not take a chance at those NFTs? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.